Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to my Head Scope podcast. A lot of people had told me, they said, you gotta focus on one niche in YouTube, either hair or hats. And I'm like, but I love both. So I said, okay, we'll focus on the head. Because basically, you know, hats go on the head. When you do hairstyles, that's on the head. So, I love both. Um, and they both, they're not worlds apart, right? They both make us feel good. Um, what great hat doesn't make a woman feel good and feel fancy, right? What having a great hairstyle that makes us feel just as good. We're honoring our crown, whether with a hairstyle or a hat. So that's why this podcast is called Headscope. We'll be talking about everything from hats to hair. So today we're going to talk about braids. And I did a short um, just yesterday, and it was about why super tight braids do not last longer. In the past, we used to think so, but it's not true. It's not true because naturally our scalp shifts. It shifts from our facial expressions, from massaging our scalp, from itching our scalp, from patting our scalp, sleeping on our head, exercising. So, because we constantly have that shift, it loosens up the same. And I'm not talking about your braids have to be in firm, right? But I'm talking about that super tight where it's excruciating and painful. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Because if it's that painful, it's not good for your scalp. And the scalp is the foundation to having healthy hair. And you have to take care of it. So if your braider is too tight, just say, sis, that's too tight. We need to go a little bit lighter. So do it to where it's comfortable for you, okay? And your braid tech should adjust. Okay, if she care about you coming back, she'll adjust. One thing I will say is that I have been to braiders who didn't know how to adjust. And um, it's because a lot of times our braiders are self-taught, community taught, family taught. And in a lot of states, they didn't have to be licensed, right? Because they weren't dealing with chemicals. But in my area now, they do have to be licensed. So you do see a shift, especially in the younger braiders, when it comes to taking care of the scalp and braids. Um, how often should you get braids? I would say no more than 2 times a year and not back to back. The reason being is because when you get braids, and most people get braids, want some type of length, right? We'll go over human hair and synthetic hair later, but if you have synthetic hair in your hair, what happens is initially it may feel like human hair, but over time it hardens. So it can act as bob wire if your hair is in the braids too long or too frequently. Okay, so you might even notice if you wear braids long term, the texture of your hair starts to roughen up. That's because the synthetic fiber is basically roughing up your natural cuticle. So to go all year round is not good. You need to give it a break. Okay, so if you have it in the hair January through March, say, give it a break for April through June and then do it again in the summer. You see? So try to break it up if you can and give the hair rest. Can you shampoo your hair while in braids? Absolutely. I recommend the rinseless shampoos. Yeah, yeah. So basically, these are shampoos that you do not have to rinse out of the hair. They're more like liquid. They don't suds up. So it's more like um, a, a toner for the face. It removes buildup. It's like an astringent. It removes sweat, odor. It's wonderful. And it's safe to use daily if you need to. Okay, so don't be shy about it. There is a good rinseless shampoo by, I think it's called DP Hue. Um, ACV, which is for apple cider vinegar. It does not smell like vinegar. It's very, very good. Also, they do now have some rinseless foams. They're not for styling, it's just a foam you put on the scalp, and it's a gentle, rinseless shampoo for the hair. Um, there was one by Aveda called Foam Reset. It's been discontinued. I have the last bottle and I want to cry. But I will look for some more because I thought it was so convenient to have. The liquids would run, down the neck, but that foam did not. That's why I liked it. Can you put conditioner in while your braids are in the hair, while your hair is braided? Yes, but I would say use the spray leave-in conditioner. Don't use any cream conditioners because you don't want it to get in the braids. You want to be able um, to for it to be super super light. Okay, because remember you're gonna have these braids in for a couple of months, right? I'm thinking, if you are. If not, okay. But if you're gonna have it in for a couple of months, you don't want to weigh the hair down, and you don't want it to your natural hair to have any waxy buildup with product. So use a spray leave-in conditioner that does not have to be rinsed out, and that have light emollients in them. I recommend Aveda's Nutriplenish spray leave-in conditioner, and I recommend Inner Sense Organic Beauty. They have a spray leave-in called Sweet Spirit. Love that. Love Sweet Spirit. Let's see, what else? Can you use conditioner? Yep, spray leave-in. Oh, oils. Can you use oils on the head while having braids? Absolutely. And you can really get to your scalp when you have braids, right? Because it's parted. So I would recommend using a dropper with your oil so you can get in there and be a little bit more neat about it. And I recommend using like your rosemary mint oils because that helps with hair growth. It also helps soothe the scalp, prevents it from being itchy, and gives it a cooling feeling. So that's a great way to give your scalp some food while it's in braids, for sure. Let's see, what else do we have here? Should you put your braids up in an up style or a ponytail? Yes, but I strongly recommend um, waiting 3 to 4 weeks. Our hair grows about a half an inch per month. So once it's grown out, it's more flexible and you don't feel any tension at your scalp. Because remember, we don't want the braids in too tight, and we don't want to, after receiving the braids, to pull our hair too tight by doing, um, a tight bun or a tight ponytail too soon. Let the braid loosen from the root a bit, and then go crazy with your up styles and get creative with them. Yeah. Let's see. Should you trim your hair before or after braiding? after. I have so many clients who will come and say, I'm about to get my hair braided. Can you trim me up? Your braider doesn't appreciate that. Because when your hair is freshly trimmed before braiding, it's hard for them to grip the ends. The ends tend to slip up and they're harder to control. Okay? And remember, if you're using synthetic hair, your hair's being roughed up. So after you take out the braids is the best time to get a trim. The best time. Okay? Now, what you can do in preparation for your braids is deep condition your hair. Use a treatment mask. I love Patterns treatment mask. It's everything. It's everything. I love it, love it, love it. Can Oh yeah. Can you use human hair? Can human hair be used when braiding? Yes. Now, it depends on the length. Now, we know kinky hair doesn't come really long down to, our waistline and all of that. So, sure, you can buy these bundles of human kinky hair if you want the shorter styles. Um, I would say around shoulder length, right? But if you want the longer length, like what I have, what they do is they'll use synthetic from the root halfway down, or not even halfway. I would say maybe a fourth of the way down, and then they'll start to blend in and mix in human hair with it. Okay, but the long, silky, or wavy hair, human hair, it's harder to grip. So they'll usually blend it in the hair, partially down the head. Using hair gems. Using hair gems on your braids is beautiful. In fact, I'm going to put some in my hair. I just got my hair braided yesterday. So I'm going to put some in my hair, but they're super light. It's all about light. Light shampoo, light leave-in, light oil, light hair gems. One year I tried to be Venus and Serena. And the I guess the I don't know, I guess they're plastic or porcelain beads, glass beads, whatever they were. And I used clear and white, and they were so heavy. So heavy. I was like, oh my goodness. And it was pulling at my scalp. So if you're going to do it, I have much lighter, the ones that clamp. The ones that you have to string can be heavier, but the ones that you can clamp on tend to be lighter. I've even seen some hair decorations that were made out of a decorated twill material. So just make sure it's feather light, because again, you don't want to pull at your scalp, and heavy gems or too many gems can weigh the hair down. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this podcast about braids, and please be sure to comment about your experience, and just know that if you leave any questions down in the comments, I will get back to you about any questions that you might have. Um, I've been a licensed cosmetologist for over 20 years. I've been a certified trichologist for about 10 of those years, and a certified board hair colorist for about 15 years. So it's all within the 20. Don't be adding 20, 10, and 15. But yeah, thank you for joining me on Headscope. Be sure to like, uh, subscribe, and share. All right. Till next time, guys.